Bradley Wiggins failed to meet his target on his competitive rowing debut on Saturday. Credit PA. He arrived looking like a particularly hairy version of Bjorn Borg and stalked off in a huff more befitting of John McEnroe. In between, it was difficult to know what to make of Sir Bradley Wiggins' first foray into the world of competitive rowing. Wiggins finished 21st in the men's Open 2 kilometres as the British Indoor Rowing Championships on Saturday. His time of 6 minutes 22.5 sec was a respectable effort considering Wiggins is, well, a retired cyclist, 37 years old, and this was his first ever 2 kilometers. But it fell a long way short of the 6 minutes 2 sec which was his stated aim. And it poses plenty of questions about the 5-time Olympic champion's involvement in the sport going forward. James Cracknell, the former Olympic champion who has been coaching Wiggins for 9 months, had encouraged British selectors to give the 2012 Tour de France champion a proper on-water trial had this event gone swimmingly, telling Telegraph Sport the selectors would be stupid not to, given the PR boost it could provide the sport. Wiggins himself had spoken vaguely of a 6th Olympics in Tokyo in 3 years' time. This performance will not have helped his cause. There was intrigue, of course. Mitigating circumstances, Wiggins actually stopped rowing at one point when the announcer inside the velodrome told the red section to put their oars down. Wiggins was in the blue section with the British rowing team. While this would only have cost him a few seconds at most, Cracknell wondered out loud afterwards whether his protege might have struggled mentally after that novice error. Wiggins briefly stopped during his indoor rowing race. Credit PA. That kind of mistake will get in your head, Cracknell said. You saw that the experienced guys just carried on. It's a similar thing to the boat race. If there's a clash, you don't stop unless the other boat stops. Brad had been looking very strong in the first 500 meters. Had Wiggins lost focus? Motivation? Certainly his 500 meters split times, having started out at 1 minute 31 sec, which put him provisionally in the top 10, fell away alarmingly as his stroke rate slowed and his head began to loll. His last 500 meters split was a 1 minute 40.1 sec. There were also rumors that Wiggins was unhappy with the proximity of cameras and TV crews situated a few yards in front of machine number 12, albeit behind barriers. It would have been nice to have asked him about that in person, but Wiggins did not hang around at the finish. Whether that was because he could not face answering questions about jiffy bags and therapeutic use exemptions, Wiggins has barely spoken publicly since the Team Sky 2 scandal first broke last autumn, or whether he was just upset with himself, was unclear. He stalked off down the tunnel and was not seen again. It was a shame for the crowd of 1,500 or so, unheard of at a British Indoor Rowing Championships. Wiggins leaves the velodrome at Lee Valley Vela Park on Saturday afternoon. Credit PA. At least Wiggins gave them good value for money at the start, arriving like a character out of a Wes Anderson film, dressed in a blue Adidas sweatshirt, and wearing a white headband to set off his long hair and enormous beard. He looked fairly nervous as he lined up alongside the GB rowers, but started well before the mistake threw him off balance. After taking the hour record here in 2015 and Madison Gold here last year, there was to be no hat-trick. Wiggins later posted his thoughts on Instagram. Huge disappointment today, he wrote. Upon hearing a call in the background I thought the race had false started, so I put my oar down. Schoolboy error, but hey, we live learn, as my plan was 602. Fantastic racing with everyone, will come back 12 months stronger next year. Swap Shot Sports people who switched codes at his thought he would need to post something in the region of 605 at the GB trials next autumn to be allowed to race on the water, presuming he takes the official route. Jürgen Grobler, the GB coach, could expedite that process. The German was present yesterday, exhorting greater effort from the GB contingent, although he did not stop to talk either, so it was difficult to know his thinking. Britain's rowers seem keen. Adam Neal, the 6 feet 7 inches monster who defended his title in 548.2, said he felt Wiggins shouldn't be too disappointed, and would improve fast if he kept at it. While Matt Rossiter, who took bronze for a second successive year in 553.3, described Wiggins' mistake as a shame, but added that he hoped Wiggins sticks at it. It was left to Cracknell to have the final word on a strange afternoon. After such disappointment, he said, any athlete has to decide whether to walk away or keep trying. It's Wiggins, he reflected. I know which one I think he'll do.